Oh, icon. Codec. What is a codec? Hello. No excuses, but a little bit weary. Good God dog. 11-9. Rising scribes. So good rising scribes is what I tried to say there. God dog 119. K9 K 11-9 dog. How we doing? How is everybody? It's been a while. Let's do this. We'll have an half-hour chat around me and many things yet to be done. Happy Tuesday. Oh, I've got the comments up. Who do we have? Lux in the new castle. Yes, the Queen is in the castle. I'm still facilitating that. Andrew, blessings. Rose, these are there. Hello there, scribes. Beautiful scribes. Going to do an update. We'll let you say how you are. Good day, good rising instead of good morning. That's come from Brother Josh. We have a strong instead of a weak. We have a see you in the strong. Remember this. We've changed the interface of our audio phonics. So the strong is what we're in now, and we have a strong end, which is the weekend. My scribes. Your scribes. Got some interesting updates for you. Disappointingly, not about Wales, but I haven't seen any of the videos or playbacks, live events of last week. From when did we arrive? Tuesday. So from the 19th onwards, I haven't been privy to any of the activity as of the 20th onwards in Llangollen or Llangollen, Llongollen. So I say Llangollen. Welsh, you say it how you'd like to. Interesting phonics, the Hand Hotel, the Hidden Hand. We know about this, don't we? Just to note, that's all. It wasn't, anything that bad. It was a real good pleasure to meet them. Andy, I'm ecstatic with his presentations, performance. This, as you know, as you will see from the history of Dave and Andy, SPLs, Hangouts, what we've been scribing of late, he's gone and done it. Annie here, he's gone and done it now. Ooh, it's another fine mess you've gone and got us into. Wow, I am the proudest man ever, as you guys, men, women, scribes, can imagine. We're pushing forward in many directions. We're having excellent feedback. It's rather turbulent at the minute in some areas, and I have at least 5 people to ring today, of which I've messaged you all. Brother Jamie that I met down in Llangollen, and Andres. Your accounts will be made today on SPLs Pro, so thank you for that. Yeah, to Jamie and to Andres. I haven't had the chance to sort anything that will be done today. But Wales in itself, the vibe, meeting everybody, seeing what they're about. Just so many accents, American accents, and questions, relentless questions, torrents, real good, loving, good vibes. My energy, my vibe pick up there was neutral. No bad points for me to say. So we will catch up and get Andy on, or maybe we'll go to Eye of Creator and have a hangout pretty soon and recap on what needs recapping with that. Sorry, didn't get the memo about the good morning. That's all right. That's why we're having a good rising now. It's all good. Free woman. Costa. Eucharist for your dialogue. Easy, Costa. Is that the Costa? Is that Costa I've had a hangout with? Good rising, brother. Lots of love to everybody. Yes, we need love in this time. Much love. I've got some new channels to bring to you. I did make a mistake. The channel that I said I'd been watching, that I wanted you to have a look at before we have a next hangout, is not called Understanding. I believe it's called Inner Standing. The brother that's written and presented his life's work for free in about 2012, 2014. The document, his life's work, is called Unlocking the Matrix, the Key to the Matrix. Bear with me and I'll confirm that as well. Inner Standing is the channel, okay? And on Inner Standing, the video that I've watched, this has come from G-Star, the videos that I've watched were Tetragrammatron. He's also known as Seven Bomar. He's done Lightning in a Bottle Band. That's an excellent video on Inner Standing. SEVANBOMAR. Okay, and Seven Bomar has done a document that's on the .com. Let me go to the resource library and tell you what it is. It's free, it's his life work, so much like the key competence that we've done through SPL's Pro, your documents for 2019, your foundation documents, we're giving man's work away, publicised, republished, re-edited, away for free. That is a business model, to give stuff away for free. It's our business, our private business, and the businesses we need to know. So this man has had the same idea. The code the code to the Matrix by James Evans Bomer is now available to download. We've had 5 downloads, I see, to that. And let me just find, I'll copy that. I want to read a bit out to you because this is key, integral excitement for me, because more words, not only do we have the appearance of Brother X and his insight into the phonics and the language. Let me just get a review for you now. He's on Facebook as well. You can find it on Facebook, James Evan Bomer, B-O-M-A-E, the A and the E that are back to back, and then R and the number 3rd. I found it here to download from a few places. I'm going to be looking at that over the next few days. I have some interesting news for you still to come. There is more, and then we'll go to the comments. In importance of the news is being brought to you. It wasn't meant to take 4 days to move out. My back is actually a little bit bruised. We're tired. It has been fun, but very, very tiring. Let's go. Oh, I have. Not much of a review there, bear with me. 1913 we're going to talk about next. 1913, alright, so get ready. Get ready. Come on, give me a review. I think I found one here. Stand by your beds. The Code to the Matrix, first edition. Where am I here? Alright, that's good, good, good. The race was not given to the quick or the swift, but to the one who could endure till the end. Then we found out there was no end. The unwary soul who fails to grapple with the mocking demon of illusion will return to earth as the slave of illusion. To become a true master of fate, you must become a knower of self. In a time much too distant to consider, we as humans splitting from the single source entered duality. This is bad layout. I'm sorry about the way I'm reading it. It's not laid out well. It's got a full stop then. Gaps and commas. Spiraling away from the creator, some spun in a direction of 6, while others spun in the opposite direction of 9. This is the spiral force. These two forms contain complete opposites. So this is all to do with your forward for the publication. I will be reviewing that and having a look in it. So I have also had, if you look at the thumbnail, my head has been immersed in another channel, what I'm going to bring you later. There are some channels out there on Tube at the minute. I'm not very happy with the information that's being outlaid. It may be correct and factual, but there are filmmakers and publishers and certain other professionals out there now glorifying the fear factor, adding you know, James Cameron, George Lucas style symphony music scores to these presentations on about the end of the realm, the Malayan calendar 2019, Sumerians, Anunnaki, Antex, cuneiform, the Numa Elish, and the you know, Gilgamesh, and certain far back, you know, 225,000 years, the ruling of the King's List has been uploaded to the .com. I'm happy to say, even though we're a law you know, educational platform, we have got a lot there. I've got the Zodiac and the Salts of Salvation, brought to us by Santos as a recommendation. Etymologies, Anglo-Saxon Chancery, the history, language and production of Anglo-Saxon charters. This is from, I haven't put the year on this one. The Anglo-Saxon Chancery, the history, language and production of Anglo-Saxon charters. This is a strange book in various respects, where the title might suggest a contribution to the long-standing debate over the production of charters in later Anglo-Saxon England. So that's an area of phonics we are quite strong with and looking at. There's a mixture on the .com because they are all relevant. The Vedic scriptures, you know, Project Gutenberg. Man's not reading enough at the minute. If you search on DuckDuckGo, Project Gutenberg, you'll find a lot of PDFs that you can get with an open source or removed non-copyright material there that we can use. And the book Andy's read from by Sir Henry Maine, 1917, Ancient Law, is on there. Lots of equity, administrative equity in Chancery. Kevin, if you pick this up, there's a lot of Chancery documents and publications for you and Graham there that I've uploaded. And then Ancient Cities, Temples of Babylon, you know, as well as the etymological Babylon through history, Sumerian morphology. Here we go, the Sumerian Kings List, and you know, Sumerian and Babylonian Psalms, Roman legal tradition and the compilation of Justinian. So the language, we've got a lot of work to do this year. I thought we was almost through it, turns out we're not, and there is a lot more work to be doing there, which leads me on to Tube. Right, let me get my comment screen up. We're going to set you a little quiz here. All right, this is, if you can answer this question and I say you've got it right, then you're very, very skilled and on the ball. So I'm going to put to you now the fact that I mentioned the year 1913 and how critical it was with what happened in the financial market, the introduction of certain financial instruments, positions and title changes, mortgages and deeds being introduced, allodial titles getting moved, not moved, but with the reintegration of the Brownskin brothers and the etymological adjustment we had with the educational system. I've since, through my discovery, research and due diligence, had a pathway to bring to you, of somewhat of which is already just been brought to you, and this channel has done my next video before I could have had a chance to do it. It involves the year 1913, it involves the Federal Reserve, and it goes through the trustee. Let me get it up for you. I'd like to read this out as well and get it verbatim. The trustee position for the administrators in the government at the minute under this de facto non de jure system of shit that we're in. Sorry to swear, but it is. So what I'll get to you is, I've seen a video, Aid, you've sent me a link saying new video up, so I've looked at it and I've seen them concentrated on the year 1913. I've asked this channel and Scriber to get in touch. I'm looking to get in touch with this channel and Scriber, and I've yet to receive communication from the channel or subscriber. I'm going to be careful with my words. So we need to go forward with some claims that have been made, and I'd like to invite to an open hangout and discussion, a heavyweight hangout. This Scriber YouTube channel, Scriber, there are more than one channel that they manage, and they're also on Facebook. They're quite a large international presence. They also have now started putting the word Babylon into the title, words you know, surrounding, and I've promoted along with others, not just me, but the Club of Rome and Babylon, wearing a shirt there, some threads that say Babylon must fall. And I noticed the interjection and the use of Babylon now, where I haven't seen so much Babylon before. So 4 to 7 days after I brought a video out and mentioned 1913 and the financial, you know, setups change, this channel has done one, and I'm just going to say hello to you. I believe you watch me, but if you've emailed me, I've yet to catch up with emails as ever, but I'm working my way through, and I'll be doing that today. I'll be doing a lot of admin this afternoon, so there'll be a lot of action happening over the next 48 hours for you all on the .com through emails and telephone calls. So it's funny to me. We watch, we learn, and let's see if anyone's picked up on what channel that might be, or what the video may be entitled. Lev, hello, good morning, good day, good rising, whichever you prefer. Matthew. What else have we got? Morning crews in, 22 watching. No problem, Matt, we will catch up there of the John tribe, family. Alright, we will make some time this week, that's not a problem. Hello Tracy. It was lots of stress, it wasn't too much stress, it was just when you use a smaller van and you've got a short distance to go, it makes sense, but practicality of it going like this, a little, I don't know, 100 shuttle runs over 4 days is quite tiring, when you should just get one unit, load it, bring it down, unload it, done. The beauty is when you do little runs, you can load it, bring it down, and then unpack it and put it where you want, and then go back, get it. So that's why it took so long. But thank you to brother Smithy for he returned from Wales Saturday as agreed, turned up, brought a traveller actually. That was quite interesting, meeting an old face that yeah, came along to see the scenery, you know, the British Isles, Anglo Earth, and yeah, he hoiked these red things around and the big bits and got off. So much love to you, Smithy, for that. 200-mile trip to honour an agreement, substance over form. Lev, I think I've said all right to you. Good day. Shivite, big up. Atul man. And the chat, big up the family, big up the tribe. We're a tribe, Shivite. This is a tribe. Big up your bad selves, your good selves, your vibrating selves. Fear porn, indeed it is. Looks, this is word porn for you. Martin, I think you've just dropped in. Hello. There is lots of love in the room this rising. Yes, Matthew, thank you for that. Don't normally get this many attending on a rising. Where are you all? It's 10 AM Tuesday. Are you watching in servitude, or are you all lucky to be free at this moment in time? Servitude. As I say that, Matt's going back to servitude. Nonna, hello. Good morning, sister. Have the best day. Good vibes to you, Matt. Keep unpeeled. Stay sovereign. If you're still here. Rose. It's a spin. Vortex. Yes, we're in a world. And we are spinning. And we are being whirled around in our world. Let's take out the L. And you've got word. our words are whirling around the world, in our world, spiraling out of control in spring. Good morning, Brother John. Here he is, the wordplay, word porn. Speaking of word porn, and then Brother John and his comment pops up. I love you all, the best scribes in the world. We're truly lucky. If you don't already scribe to each other, then right click on the name and get scribing, because I would urge you all. 1,800 Australia grant. What does that mean then, AA? I think I might know. I'm in Scotland riding my bike. Yes, Snafu, I met you actually. Wow. That's a nice image to have. Nonna is up that way, Snafu's up that way then, so, and you're riding your bike. That's what you call a free spirit. You gave me a big hug Snafu. You fixed my back actually. There was 3 clicks when the man hugged me at the Sovereign conference that we had last year. There will be more news about the Sovereign conference that's coming up. I'm going to work that with Josh. He will have sorted out, confirmed the location, so we'll be pressing on with that. Alright, so that's an update there. Let me read in a dictionary. New dictionaries, publications we could do with the Sovereign dictionary, and that's an extra, you know, few publications down the road to put on the .com. As soul was trading on. Easy came on. I missed you. Steve, I think I said good rising to you. In Scotland making soup. That's 3 in Scotland then. Look at that. Easy looks. Nice one. Yes, Nonna. In Yorkshire doing housework. Stevie V. Dirty Cash. Steve HV. Sorry. Take out the H. Steve V. Dirty Cash. In Yorkshire doing the housework. Listening to house. What else we got to do update wise? What else is missing? What else needs doing? Boxing, packing. Trustees, administrators. I love that image. That image, whoever, you know, the, well, where is it from? Let me get it right. Sumer. So the image here with the alien type dude and the 2 eyes has some very interesting scriptures on him. On the left hand side, as you look, you will see the snake, yeah, with the spiral that's based somewhere on a geographical landmass that denotes something. Squares and pyramids and and squares in circles. So the cube of Mecca, for example, and the circle around that. What was it now that was important? 322, 322. 3 is the triangle, Trinity, cube. 3, Son, Ghost, Spirit, a God, Son, Spirit, and also 2 divisible, 22 divisible by 4. So 3 and 4, 3, 2, 2, 3. We've explained 2, 2. Something 4 cube related to divisible square root along the lines of do your due diligence, you will find out. And so 322 is the because I did a video update on the 21st of March about the equilateral equinox, the beginning of the 6 months of light, and I was looking at numbers and squares and shapes, and it's very interesting. Then this man popped up on a video, and this is called a codec that's been left for us to look at, involving very deep things that I'm not doing on this update, but please look at that codec if you don't know what I'm on about. It's on your thumbnail and is there. That has got inscriptions, messages, and we'll talk about that on another hangout when I bring you the channels that I'd like to bring you. I shouldn't have done that. Hey. So what are we doing now? Now I would like to bring you something from the video, which involves 1913. I don't mind saying where I've got it from. relevant and I want to check through it. I've just uploaded it to SPLs on Facebook. The system agenda, Office of the Foreign Vatican Private Administrative Agent. You've got at the top the magistrate. You've got bottom left, Office of the Creditor, Christ, you should be here. Office of the Debtor, Babylon, but you wound up here. Office of the Debtor, Babylon. Trustee, interesting. Again, it was giving us pyramids and eyes, things like that to look at. So that's your setup on that. I'll give it you all in due course. They will be put on the .com. It proceeds to say, in trust law, okay, so that's now, in life, right now, in life, whenever a letter comes to your address, your home, through the letterbox, it's got the all caps on it. The all caps is the trust account. It is the trust name. It is not man, it is not woman, it is not child, it is not master, it is not laird, it is not king, it is just the account that the legal system uses. Everything out there is legal, very seldom is anything lawful. So all communications, requests, telephone calls, letters, emails, except if they're done on a personal, man-to-man, in personam basis, are what we call trust. So in trust law, which explains to you now everything outside right now in the legal realm, if the creditor passes away, that is, right now the creditor, that is the living David, the David creditor, Jeremy to debtor. So if David, you pass away, the body in flesh, the man, without a will. Now, synchronicities, this came out 4 days ago. Who uploaded a last will and testament onto the .com? UK only, America's coming, don't worry, we love you. Europe's coming, but I've only got the articulation in the legal realm with the public common law statutory codes from Westminster to compile a last will and testament based on the structure that the construct has now. And that was another thing. When I saw this, I thought, sod it, I'm taking this, I'm screenshotting it, because I've just done so many things and said so many things. And this man, in the international basis, I've just said man and give it away a bit, has brought out a new video that we all hang upon, that I've recommended, and I just thought, synchronicities or not, it's coming out. So without a will, I'll reread it again. Just let me explain it, and then we'll go through it again. Oh, we're gearing up. The coffee's kicking in. The eyes are wakening up, opening up. If the creditor passes away, so that's, you know who that is, without a will, the estate of the creditor legally becomes the property of the trustee agent. If you were converted from creditor into debtor in a trust setup without knowing, and you pass away as the debtor, you will have no will in the standing of the creditor. Your birthright security, mineral and energy wealth, I'll carry on, we'll explain later. Mineral and energy wealth of your country granted to the agent or trustee, agent / agent - trustee, counterfeit government. When we say counterfeit, non de jure, de facto, counterfeit is false, yeah, false money, fake. Government will legally fall into the hands of the foreign administrative agent trustee. If the administrative agent administrating your lands is not the real de jure government of your country, you may have granted your birthright security to a foreign, dummy, quasi, unknown entity. It may be in the interest of such a hidden usurping foreign administrative agent to cause war and conflict in order to get the debtors to kill each other before each debtor becomes aware that he was always the creditor but was deceived. Beware of deceptions. And converted into the debtor by such a foreign trustee agent. Once the creditor is dead, deceased, and never returned to redeem his or her birthright, claim of right, estate, granted as security for the loans of the foreign administrative counterfeit trustee agent, such a foreign administrative trustee agent legally takes the equity, mineral and energy wealth of the birthright granted to the false banking trustee agent as a security for the loans granted to the very people that unwittingly granted and secured them. The piracy, theft, equity thieves, Club of Rome, of the common land and the national assets, stroke treasury, oblique treasury, of the people, well I'd say man, of man, has been completed, transferring such mineral and energy wealth into the hands of foreign globalism banking agenda for free. The Vatican Babylon quasi false god. Then I've also got something to bring to you about the creation of the Federal Reserve and who created the Federal Reserve and things about the straw man, okay? Now that happens around about 1913, so it's very coincidental that all this is going off. This is quite many thousands of miles away, that what I've just read you, and who's produced this. I do need to speak to this man. This channel and I will get connected. It is going to happen, and if you can take from that and the pictures and stuff that I've given you who I'm talking about, then yeah, we're going to get on this, and it will happen in 2019. Very interesting words there. So we're going to go back, and I will explain as I was at the beginning. In trust law, the creditor passes away without a will. Yeah, what are you? Your will is in your will. When your wheel, the free wheel, the 12, the governance of your will is in probate. Probate. Yes, if you die, so if you don't have a will and you're operating now, your estate is in probate. If you pass away or die, yeah, without a will, that's called being interstate. Your estate is in interstate, and the estate of the creditor legally becomes the property of the trustee agent. So that's why it becomes property of the trustee agent. This bloke doesn't go too deep into, like, you know, the inner workings and the variables of the trust environment, the set law, America, grantor, UK, then beneficiary and trustee, unilateral, universal. He doesn't go in. There's a lot of channels out there that go, hey up, I've got it, listen to this, and then they give it you and you go running away because we're all desperate and fearful and time is ticking and etc. December the 21st is nearly upon us. We take it and we use it. It doesn't work. Like the fun we had trying to obtain the creditor certificate from the birth attorney's general office there, general's office. So that's quite 4 sentences. In trust law, if the creditor passes away without a will, the estate of the creditor legally becomes the property of the trustee agent. Now there's a lot more to that than meets the eye. That's a summarisation, and we'll give you the intricacies behind it, of which you need to pay and get on a course for and spend 1,500 quid and donate to it. No, you don't. You see, we're not all about money. We do give it away. We love you all. You are our tribe. This scribe is my tribe. The scribers are the tribers. The tribe is the scribe. You know, and that's how it goes. Certain things we need to do as we live in a monetary environment. We will never monopolise on you or your freedoms, your rights, your entitlements, ever. Never will I and SPLspro.com infringe or abuse any kind of trust here. If you want to see abuse, go outside, and as soon as you open the door, it begins. Second paragraph. If you were converted from creditor into debtor in a trust setup without knowing, and you pass away as the debtor, so yes, you've all been registered by your informant, which is your parents, pair that rent, yes, the pair that rent. You've been converted from creditor, so by being born and by the waters of your mum, and then you are free and you have your mineral and wealth rights there in your claim of right under the covenants of from the creator, from the gods, big G God, not little g gods. So we have all been bonded. If you were converted from creditor into a debtor in a trust setup, if you've been bonded by your local de facto government, you've been put in a trust setup. That trust setup is called a constructed trust. One of them there, yeah, the public ones, not the ones that we use, not the ones that man makes, not the ones that ring fence and protect your assets, but the ones that the government have ring fenced your and my ass onto, yeah, alongside with the bullpup hills from the paper proclamations in the Vatican there. We've all been bonded. We've talked about Maggie Thatcher and the quasi trust from the 80s. We've touched upon that. without knowing, without disclosure, without full disclosure. So we've got plausible deniability for everything, just like the government's got plausible deniability. Oh, we didn't know that there was a straw man. Oh, we didn't know that it was an equitable asset. Oh, we didn't know that we was trustee. Bullshit. Yes, you did, and there is no plausible deniability. And if you can claim plausible deniability when man tries to go down to the High Court Chancery Division and not prosecute, but get the equitable relief, not equitable remedy, and you go, oh, we didn't know, but well done for finding out, and will you sign here and keep quiet? No, I won't sign there. And what do you mean, well done for finding out? After 40 years in the wilderness, yeah, and getting attacked, you know, and such as Andy and all of you scribes out there, I know I've had a hard time. What do you expect us to do? When you're feeding us bullshit through the medical, maths, science, religion, education, all of it is wrong, and we've had to do it ourselves. So if you were converted from creditor into debtor in a trust setup without knowing, and you pass away as the debtor, you will have no standing in the case of the creditor. No, you won't. Roman maxims come into play again, so it's just bullshit. It's bad for you, and we've had enough. All right, so you're going to make videos and you're going to take topics from other channels, then make them and actually do what the job is. So I'm finishing off the job for the man that made this video, yeah, and hopefully we will get to have a chat. I'm not angry in any way. I'm tired and my back's killing. I've got like a little bit of sciatica going down here. I've got loads to do. I've got 6 mans to ring. Got to get my arse back into forced voluntary servitude, self-employed. Life's pointing at the minute to many things. You know, there's a Star of David out in the garden there. There's a lot of synchronicities. So I'm going to keep the passion. That's why you're scribing to me, because I am not a robot who sits here giving you mundane, monotone advice. And, you know, oh yes, and didn't we do well? Yes, yes, and aren't we doing well? And, oh yes, and Jesus will come from the clouds and save us soon. I'm not patronising you, I'm not insulting you, but shit needs to get sorted, all right? And I've done enough, we've said enough, yeah? And this, hopefully, there'll be a lot of pennies dropping into place here, with great thanks from this channel, whose work I have screenshotted and I'm re-examining and kind of going to do a review on it and see what happens in the future. Your birthright security, so that's your claim of right. Mineral and energy wealth. So when we say you've got a claim of right, that's what is put into the res. The world is the res. What is the world? The world, yes. And energy wealth is the mineral and energy. So all of the oil, all of the crude oil that they're barreling up and selling back at $80 a barrel, all of the gold, water, everything, the water that they meter and sell back to you, poisoned with chemicals and particulates in, way above the safe level. Again, so your birthright security, mineral and energy wealth of your country, granted, I'd argue the 12 tribes of Israel and the realm there, granted to the agent trustee, granted, stolen by the non-disclosure and fraudulent deceptive language and materials, granted to the agent trustee counterfeit government invading foreign military force, will legally fall into the hands, well, will basically, legally, legal's just a way, as you're finding out, of killing man, yeah? It will legally fall into the hands, are they clean hands there? No, they're not clean hands, of the foreign administrative trustee agent, stroke Club of Rome, stroke equity thieves, stroke militant combatants, stroke AI matrix programs gone rogue, Oracle, Neo, help. If the administrative agent administrating your lands, when we say lands, I'd look at land registry there, I'd think about the scriptures and the Elohim Ra, or the little g gods made man from the earth. So land and earth is bound there. We are bound from the matter, the mudder, the, you know, going into the etymology as we have done. So if the administrative agent administrating our or your lands is not the real de jure government of your country, I think it's safe to say, under this EU, United Nations, you know, overlord system that we have, we've all got that. There aren't many sovereign nations left. If you get your birth certificate or through your person's birth certificate authenticated, you might be able to use it to do private trade in the sovereign landmass. That's why I'm up to speed on this. De jure government of your country. You may have granted your birthright security to a foreign quasi-unknown entity. So trading souls with birth certificates, yeah, is not on. Being securitized, being the secured party creditor, you have been annexed to a cognomen of Rome, the accounts of Rome, the straw man, the fiction, the legal entity, and the debt. So you have been securitized. Securitized is a fixture of the equitable instrument, and the man taking the public liability and the persona for all of that. They've securitized that dirty bond, which is factor dirty bond, to us, where we will use the equity to re-perpetuate that. We'll go back to 1913 later in the week, because that is key. But someone's already brought out 1913 for me. It may be in the interest of such a hidden, usurping foreign administrative agent to cause war and conflict in order to get the debtors to kill each other before each debtor becomes aware that they were always the creditor but have been deceived. We've talked about wars and what happens in wars, and when there's a massive war, what types of war: war on the ment, war on the body, war on the lands, war on the minerals, war on the DNA, war on everything. War just doesn't mean rockets, bombs, and obvious signs of there's a war going on in here on a microbacterial level. Let's go, next one, we're nearly at the end. The creditor was deceived and converted into the debtor by such a foreign trustee agent. So they operate as trustees and they administer, as we've brought out in the principal documents that we've got in the resource library, where we've got the key competence in the CQV quasi trust, which is the silver, and then you go on to the gold, which is the principles of trust law, governance, master servant, slavery. That has the majority of what I'm going on about in there for free for you. And anybody that has downloaded it is free to send that around and email it, and we will email it out as is applicable if you can't download it from the .com. Once the creditor is dead, so once man is dead and the heart has stopped beating, and your final act in this realm is to exit the matrix. If you exit the matrix in your full public capacity, which is the capital Dominicus text there in the public, which is depicted as the full capital text on your gravestone, then your final act in this realm was in the public. Ergo, the government recognises public. These administration trustee agents there then go and scoop it and take it, and then they bank it, and that's another bond paid out on. War in itself is heinous against the commandments. We was given one commandment: go forth and multiply. We was given all right, 10 commandments, and then we was told to go forth and multiply. So the earth populates. Such a foreign administrative trustee agent legally takes the equity, mineral and energy wealth of the claim of right, birthright, granted to the false banking trustee agent as the security for the loans granted to the very people that unwittingly granted and secured them. So when we've said before, when you go to the bank, and we're talking about mortgage now, back to 1913, and what happens now, you are giving the fixture of the equitable asset, that being the sign of nature, the signature. All right, so that's how we say granted and secured them. You have granted them, joint settlors or grantors signing for a mortgage, man and a woman, man and a wife, business partners signing that agreement, have agreed therefore to pay themselves back. So you are in a weird situation. It really does burn your brain out. It's not, I don't understand it. It's just, it's simple, but it's not simple. It's just dirty. The piracy or theft of the common land, the tribesman's lands, much like what happened with America's and the you know, the confirmation, the colonization. Look at colonies, colonial. What is a colony? What is a, who helped advise the president and set up the Federal Reserve in 1913? Might have been a Jesuit that lived on a colony. Shh, I didn't say that. When I've done my research, I've lined up my next video. I'm a little bit annoyed that it's been taken out and put out there. Not annoyed, but given everything that's going off, and as I'm putting it to you now, my case, I will rest my case and make no claim. The piracy, theft of the common land and the national assets or treasury of the people has been completed, transferring such mineral and energy wealth into the hands of the foreign globalism banking agenda for free. So when we touched upon, it's quite a good idea this, to set up a military hospital, get births to occur there, implement some kind of banking international certification, set up a clearing bank, get the clearing bank to meeting with the International London Exchange Stock Market, Bond Street, interface that, start high frequency stock market trading on these. What the, are you for real? Are you for real? Yeah, we are, and that's what's going down. That's not the only thing that goes down, but that's one of the main important things. So when we say energy, wealth and transferring assets, treasury, people, dirty, horrible system, yeah, banking agenda, and it's for free. Well, it's at the cost of our life. It's free to them, yeah, and it is from the Vatican and the Babylon, quasi-false god. So lots of interesting pictures to bring you. I'll do it on a hangout. Aztec, Malayan, the hand with the spiraling, the hand of God in space, and this icon here is key. So these words and messages are brought to you from an extremely tired, worn out sovereign David, and I've been watching and researching in the background of the last few months, and I was aiming to present this after the move of the Queen and Princess Yanka. So yeah, I've got to catch up with Smithy. I haven't even spoke to him since Wales, so I will catch up with Eye of Creator, Smithy, Greg, all of the ones that are waiting on messages, phone calls, helps, accounts and so forth. The next 48 hours we'll be getting busy, and we will pick up the slack. Any issues on emails, I will skim. Any important urgent emails, I will answer straight away. That's why it's crucial to put in your subject there what the email's about, and if it's urgent, important stuff. They are all important, but you know what I mean, then I can prioritise that with a subject header skim, which is how I manage my emails. So I think other than that, you are all well and truly updated. I'm going to go to the live chat. And I'm going to say I'm a little bit chilly. I might need to reposition. Hydrogen, gas from water's coming next. Battery banks, healthy battery banks, organic battery banks, and if there's such a thing, but you know, you get me. Solar panels, kilowatts of power, water, gas. I want to make everyone's house warm, and I want to present a domestic, private, functioning, powered by the sun, with an initial battery startup, and then the sun to keep recharging it through the solar integration for campers, stealth campers, for mobile homes, for porta cabins, for fixed brick masonry mortar units. We will be burning hydrogen and oxygen, and the output from that is significantly less than the commercial industrial gas that we're burning now, the natural resources. They're going on about carbon footprints. So to the Department for Transport for the UK, for the United Kingdom, I don't know your name, for the Department for Education for the United Kingdom, I would like to say to the ministers, principals, trustees, we have technology that doesn't commit pollution, it doesn't cost the earth, it doesn't you know, give out any emissions of toxicity, whereas diesel, petrol and your metered systems at the minute do. You provide us dirty water. Department for Health there for the United Kingdom, and you're doing a very, very bad, shocking, egregious job of this, which is why we're doing this ourselves. This is not in any way with hate, malice. It is a universal remedy, you know, for all. We've had enough. We are dying, literally dying for good health. We're dying for good and you know, valid education. We're dying for a great many things here. My tribe is dying. I'm sick of it. The trust has been formed and set up under the covenants of the Creator for one reason and one reason only, because we need to make a stand in our capacity and be an example. So much to touch base on and to, you know, feedback with. I'm going to do that now. I might move to charge you, and then we'll say ciao and catch up later when we've got more time. I also might need to visit the little boy's room because I've had too much coffee. Oh wow, just left the room where the hood is. Then I'm going to get to your comments, so if you've out to say any questions, get them in now please, and then oh, everything's everywhere. No time to choose. Beggars can't be choosers. First port in the storm. It's weird that when you're tired you always feel a lot colder. Your body's got an excellent way of alerting you there are problems and signs, and you know, just a couple of degrees difference. You're tired, you're feeling sick, infection. I am a naturally hot-blooded man. I love the sun. I worship the sun. The sun, I've got loads to bring you on the sun, just that in itself. The hole in the sun, the artifacts, what the sun does, allegedly, possibly, S-O-N. Let's go, scribers. My favourite time. Let's go. Got a little kitchen bar. We can show you this bit of the room. Not kitchen. Look at this. This is where we're going to be casting from. Let's give you a little. It's a bit thin. Could also double up as a bowling alley. Yes. That's good, isn't it? That's a nice little bit of setup. And AD Sheffield, you'll notice there's no horrible plaster in this rented accommodation. Check that skyline out. Look at that. All, you know, spick and span. That's what the Queen deserves. 600 thereabouts, would I say, to be a ballpark figure. Rent. Stop looking at me pots and stuff. I remember now why we don't do this. Did I pass? Did we pass the test? Yeah, it's too much. You can have 2 mortgages for that much, so it's a mockery. It really is. They've set a system up, financial system. You'll see from the humanitarian aid, or the lack of humanitarian aid around the realm. Once the system ejects you, where do you go for help? Yeah, where do you go for help? Who's going to help you? Who cares? Who's bothered? You haven't got any money and you're out the system. Yeah, nobody cares. The banks don't care. Government doesn't care. The international community might care. They might claim to care. It might take them 6 months to sort it out. The Windrush scandal, you know, wow, just in itself, I'm shameful. Feel so much shame for that. Horror, disgust, disbelief, farcical behaviour, losing of papers. You know, it's incredible. But I digress. I'm sorry. My horse box will be ready soon. Yes, Snaff. All right then. I'd like to see that when it's in action. I post 3 sheets of the Cinnamon Dictionary on your wall. I'm catching up, John. I'm not ignoring anybody. You see how busy it is. So as soon as I can, and I ask and I want direction, I will get that from you. Or if it's on the SPL's Facebook or my profile there, I use that last. I look at Facebook very, very little. If there is stuff there, though, it will be saved, brother, and I will collect it. Thank you. Yeah, they do. Agreed, brother. Sorry about that. How would you challenge a law in court, Thomas Jefferson? How would you challenge a law in court, Thomas Jefferson? Yeah. All is atom shivite. Let's do it to one and all. This is just my little before martial arts. You do the bow, you say, salute the power within, low battery. It's on. Respect Shiva. Lazy boy. No law. Oh, you've written it hyphenated. I like that. Or fact shall be tried in court. Exactly. Indeed. What have you written it is? What style of language is that? What is hyphenated capitals, scribes? Since the 1700s, I'd say since well before, since Babylonian, Akkad, Sumer, Mesopotamia, like I say, Gilgamesh, Numa Elish, the archons, what's happening there, this icon, the universal realm had pyramid builders and block builders, Lebanon, megalithic blocks there, let alone Derin Deku, is it, and Göbekli Tepe. Oh wow, too many to mention. Shit's gone down long time ago. Earth's about to reset again, and keeps getting reset. Rebirth, God, Indian gods, rebirth. Which one is it? What's outside of CERN? As evidence is under foreign rule, so it's been going on for eons, hundreds of thousands of millions of eons. The Sumerians' kings list, you know. So yeah, noted came on, but also corrected, objection and interjected. Can you tell me, does anyone have a conflict with God to do anything to a living man or woman to cause them loss, harm? No, thank you, I don't. But you break your covenant with God, much like Moses coming, Abraham coming down. No, Moses coming, Abraham, 10 commandments. No, Moses, which one? Who come down with the 10 commandments and broke them, broke the law? So that's where you break the law, yeah, and that's the law you've broken, those 10. All right. Yes, they would cause our rights end where yours begin, snafu. No one has a contract with God to cause them harm, loss and injury. No, they don't. They might have a contract with the devil to do so. That's it, John. Agreed. Which law and how many? God's law, natural law. All dirt before, yeah. Justinian deception, lazy boy researcher. I like your thinking. I like that. Means that you are one of the scribers on it. Anybody, let's scrap to the bottom. I've got to get to the bottom now, work my way up. Super Leeds has dropped him. Easy now. Do I play for West Ham? I don't do football, my brother. Used to play rugger. Used to love the handoff. Got my jaw broke a couple of times with the shoe coming up. Nearly bite your tongue off and everything. Yeah, nose breaks. So else, blacks. I'm going from the bottom up now. I started by the bottom, now I'm here. What? Shadow. Easy, brother. Is that a new door too? This is a stable door. You might do a posh one, like it's got that bit in the middle, so you can have a nice bit of hello. What? We're filming from the stable door today. Salute, Shivite. You should put some of Alistair Hudson's work. I'm getting there. All right, Shadow. Yeah, I've got 163 out of a potential 400 PDFs up there. So, yes, we are indeed well said. And they're going there. Also, let me think. Now you've mentioned a name. Christian Walters. And got enough of him up either. So you quit all the man-made stuff. Not much. Indeed, brother. Any news on future events coming? Stand by. Need money for that. Ooh, boy, start singing. David Boyle, free song powered. Okay, thank you, Snaff. Think about sending a bill for child maintenance. I'll put the name that can't speak to the person personality. Think about it when you say me. I did it personally. Did you do it personally? Did you? Yeah, my person did it personally. I did it personally. That's one that jumped out at me the other day. I did it in person. What do you mean you did it in person? It was. I've executed it as a deed. You know, executed as a deed is different to doing it in person. Yeah. Unless you use your person to execute deeds. What? Public person, private person. Mr. David is a person. He's a public person because he's got a title, even though he's lowercase. It's mental, John, what we've found out here, what we have done and what we've cracked open and helped crack open and, you know, continue to push forward is truly magical. Pirates with doublespeak. White is black, black is white. You only have a name for work then. Being in servitude. Yes, game of Monopoly. Yes, game on. The token or playing piece is the high cap's name. You getting it? Yes, brother. Environmental warriors. Yes, I lazy boy. Oh, wait then. Rather than warriors fighting, battle, vanquishing, immediately conjures up programming of, I would say angels and demons. We're going to touch on these and what they actually are. You know, if you're the Elohim Ra, and the Elohim is a collection of, and you're the big G, and you've got your 7 little G's and everything else going off there up in heaven. Yeah, let me just tell you that when I get and cognize and envisage, like I do the halls of Amente or heaven and the battles in there. And there was a battle, a war in heaven. So if it was that righteous a place and it was all that honourable and great and, you know, lovely and holier than thou and cherubs and angels and, you know, everything just really peachy, you know what I mean? Just really, perfect, harmonious. And then there was a war in heaven, It can't have been all that, you know, hell, lower vibratory frequencies, heaven, higher vibratory frequencies, things like that. So yeah, token games, warriors, this is where I'm getting here. Sorry, Cayman, I'm lazy, I'm getting onto Cayman. I would say I'm a nurturer. Andy said we're nurturers. But be wary of all ships. You can label yourself whatever you would like, but you are you know, a guardian of the realm, a nurturer. We would be naturalists, ambassadors, diplomats. You are in your capacity of, you know, so yeah, a warrior, light worker, truth seeker is quite a common used one, but adversarial, military, you know, target orientated ways of describing your innocent, peaceful, you know, educational movement that you've got there is quite hard. You need something catchy to get the youth involved and to get them to try and pick up as well and you know, move with it. So I will bring more to you. I've got some good ideas on some notepads about terminology and how to label you know, what you're thinking about there, which is great, and it's truly what we need in this mad time. But warriors, I don't know about that. It's good. I know where you're coming from. Warriors, we're coming out to play. What? That was a nice late 80s film, I remember. Sovereign common law all the way. Be the player, not the token. I agreed there, came on. What happens when somebody signs on at the job centre? Does somebody somewhere in a corporate entity get like a little cut of that every time somebody signs? Jamie, anyone? Yes, chef. So altered their standings from debtor to creditor. Yes, some have. Not now, and correcting there. So what you're saying is anybody got their claim right. Ones that have got sworn to a non-disclosure and claim of right there. Not me. Looking at offsetting, discharging and doing certain little lawful discharge moves, that's been done effectively. Judicial realm, we're working our way up to that. You're a man of the divine, David G. So we all are. All the scribes are divine, divinity, all are created equal. So regardless of creed, colour, orientation, bless you for that. Bless me, bless us all. Somebody needs blessings sending out. Barnes, will speak later. Yes, Mr. Michael even. My ex's friend's solicitor was writing to them to that Vatican anyway. So yeah, I see. Oh, what's that link? We got more happening. All right, I'm going to catch up from where John is, or Super Leeds dropped in, and then I told you, you can't choose. This is just something. This is actually a jacket that I've repaired and put a little patch on my send, because someone, when I was out and I liked this jacket that much, at least 10 years ago, maybe 15, somebody burnt it. I remember doing that. It was just a little stick-on patch, but it's very old. It was a racing style jacket, yes, when I was young and silly. But I don't, as Anne-Marie will vouch and come on and tell you, I don't throw anything away or hoard or recycle. If it isn't ripped or broken, I don't care if it's 10, 20 years old. You'll see me wear things that are out of fashion, because I don't want to go out and reintegrate and give the sweat equity away for stuff that I've already got. So stop it with the football jokes. So Jonesy with my hair. Can't take it. Fragile, man. Thank you for the link, John. The gaff's looking all right. Yes, Barnes, we're going to sort you out soon, my man. We'll see what's happening in the next few days, and it's all moving. Getting a steed, in the trusty steed. Rusty, all right. Babylon Woes of History Banking. Thank you, Cayman. King Solomon, good information there. That's one of the temples, Solomon's temple. I found a lot about that. Conjecture on Kebal. No, yeah, I'll get into that, but that's relevant indeed. Did it? Yeah, good answer, Lux. Colonel Edward Mandell House Grant. That's to do with what? The Federal Reserve and 1913 and the straw man. My next video that's been brought out by that other channel that's emphasised 1913 and the trust set up there. Well done. You can always subordinate a claim in due course. Well, not, yeah, can you, Shadow? Really? Yes, you can. You should be able to, but whether in reality that actually happens, or if there was actually anybody there, and if anything did actually happen, and we all know everybody was and did, well, the records say different. What? It's all right, the devil. Yes, lazy boy agreed. John, I need to see these books. Captain of your ship, and it carries 10 cannons on each side, which sometimes need firing off. Well, yeah, warning shots marking your territory. Mentioned quite a lot here in this hour's update. Thank you for the 23 rising scribes there for your pleasure and company comments. Get back to you with Smithy in due course in a couple of days maybe. I've got some emails and catching up to be doing. It is Tuesday. Lots going off. I need to give you an update on health and wealth. I've got my gym set back up. Well, Anne-Marie's gym set up here that we put 2 for. I went halves on. Put 2 is slang for going halves on. I want to do a hangout with the channels that I've been watching and bring you some of the footage and material other than what I've said today. Seminar, conference we'll talk about. We'll link up with Josh. He'll be visiting with his lovely queen and son. I hope in the next week or 2 we'll be getting a whiteboard and doing some presentations. I'll be working on an American last will and testament ASAP, but the next 48 hours are going to be crucial. It wasn't supposed to take 4 days to move. Well, the keys Anne-Marie picked up 4:30 on Friday, just gone, so it was Saturday, Sunday, and then half of Monday. And once again, thank you all. Much love and blessings. Smithy, thank you for doing that 180-mile round trip to help me Saturday. Well, help Anne-Marie out as you honourably agreed, and all is well. Yes, I'll give you a tour later. This will be the new casting room. Get used to this position. Fancy a brew. Make the straw man on the yellow brick road. No, I'll get me on for another hour on that one. Much love, bless, no stress, and